Hey guys, my name is McKenna and I have to do a school project for my video production class. The video I have to do is how to make a better video. This video includes framing, camera angles, camera movements, and story composition. All of these are basic techniques. What you're looking at first is an extreme close-up, or ECU for short. This shows only part of the face, such as the eyes, which helps to show details of the person. This shows no setting at all, so it wouldn't be good for your video if you want to show the setting. This is also used as a cut-in to give specific detail to someone or something like we have just been viewing. A close-up often shows just the character's head. It goes from their chin to hair with very little headroom. A close-up shows no setting at all, so if you want to show the setting or if the setting is an important part in your video, this is not a good choice of framing. This is not a good shot for listening to someone talk for extended periods of time. Close-ups are still good for some things, like close-ups of animals, hands, or objects. This allows for close examination, and it also emphasizes emotion as well as expression of the speaker.
Hey, I'm Allie. Next we are going to show you a medium shot, which is a shot that shows only your waist up. This shot is a comfortable distance from the subject and allows you to see the setting. It allows room for hand gestures and movement, and is also known as a mid shot. It works well for two shots, which we will discuss later on. Now let's learn about a wide shot, which is a shot that shows from your head to your toes. This shot only shows partial setting of your surrounding objects. Notice how the wide shot only shows from head to toe with little headroom above and below the head and feet, respectively. It provides context for the character in the shot, but not many details of the person. Next is the very wide shot. The very wide shot is closer to the subject than an extreme wide shot, but the exact subject is still hard to determine. Emphasis is still on the surroundings. The very wide shot also allows for room for action to take place, so the attention isn't just on the subject.
The extreme wide shot shows a lot of the subject surrounding and location. An example of an extreme wide shot is a mountaintop or a city skyline. This is often used as an establishing shot to show general location. This contains so much general setting that the specific subject of the shot is hard to determine. This is also known as an extreme long shot, or XLS.
Now we are moving on to advanced framing. There are 6 different shots: a 2 shot, over the shoulder shot, perspective shot, point of view shot, headroom, nose room, and rule of thirds. The first shot is the 2 shot. This is where you take a picture or video with 2 people facing the camera. It's typically a medium shot. This is an example of the 2 shot. An over the shoulder shot is a technique for showing perspective in a conversation. It shows the main subject facing the camera and some head to shoulder of the other person along the edge of the frame. The main subject who is facing the camera typically makes up 2/3 of the frame. We have 2 examples. The first is of the over-the-shoulder shot with 2 people. A perspective shot can also be with just 1 person, like this example.
Now we are going to show you a perspective shot. A perspective shot is any shot from unusual camera placement. A POV shot is a subset of this type of shot. A POV is like a perspective shot, but it only shows what a specific character would see with their own eyes. A headroom is a space of a frame above a person's head, which we would normally leave a small amount of. This right here is an example of a headroom shot.
Nose room is the space between your face and the camera. It allows the viewer to see at which the subject is looking. It's also the space in front of the subject that is walking, running, or moving. Space is left in front of the subject to lead them. If a person is looking to the right, they should be placed on the left third of the frame, with the nose room occupying the other 2/3 of the frame. This is a concept used to develop a well-balanced shot. It's applied by imagining the frame is divided into 3 segments vertically and horizontally. This helps the camera operator to compose balanced shots. The point of interest is often placed 1/3 or 2/3 along the screen rather than dead center. The intersection points provide very powerful points of interest. This is a rule, not an unbreakable law. Next we are doing angles. There's worm's view, low, eye level, high, bird's eye, and slanted. First is worm's view. The worm's view is created by placing the camera on the ground, looking straight ahead as if we are seeing everything through the eyes of a very tiny creature like a worm. The lens is typically zoomed out all the way like a wide shot. A low camera angle is any placement of the camera significantly below eye level, looking up at the subject. This makes the subject seem larger and dominating. We, the viewers, feel small and inferior.
The next angle is the eye level. This angle is created by the camera being at eye level with the subject of the shot. This is the normal camera angle and is used most often. The camera is directly across from the subject and makes the viewer feel equal. A high camera angle is created by placing the camera higher than eye level, looking downward at the subject. This makes the subject seem small, inferior, weaker, and it makes the viewer feel dominant.
The bird's eye camera placement is an extreme form of a high angle. The camera is directly overhead, high in the air, looking straight downward, as if you are a bird overhead or a spider on the ceiling. You see tops of heads or roofs of houses. This makes the viewer feel detached from the scene, as if you are floating above it. A slanted angle is an angle when the camera is not level with the subject. It is very rarely used. This angle was used extensively in the 1960s TV series Batman, where each villain had their own unique camera tilt. This angle is also known as oblique, Dutch angle, canted angle, and Batman angle. This mainly creates a feeling of psychological abnormality, uneasiness, or even intoxication. It can also add an edgy sense of motion to a scene. Okay, so far we've done framing, advanced framing, and angles. Now we're moving on to camera movements. The first camera movement is zooming in or out. It doesn't matter, but the camera does not change its location on the set. The scene is either magnified or unmagnified by smoothly adjusting the lenses. The impact on the viewer is the sensation of changing your concentration. When we zoom in, it feels like we are paying more attention to smaller details, while zooming out feels like we're focusing on the bigger picture. When you dolly a shot, it means that you move the camera closer or further from the subject. You do not use the zoom in or out to do this. This makes the audience feel as if the subject is walking towards the camera. Like the zoom, the camcorder does not change places. Instead, it is gradually pointed left or gradually pointed right. The effect on the viewer is as if the viewer is standing still or turning their head left or right. When your camcorder travels laterally or sideways on the set, and where the direction the camcorder is raised is constant.
A pan shot is just like the zoom. The camcorder does not change places. Instead, it is gradually pointed left or gradually pointed right. The effect on the viewer is as if the viewer is standing still and turning their head left or right. When your camcorder travels laterally or sideways on the set, and when the direction of the camcorder is raised and constant, this is called a truck shot.
Another camera movement is pedestal. The camcorder angle stays constant or remains straight ahead. The camcorder is either raised or lowered, and it feels as if the viewer is going up or down an elevator. When you tilt the camcorder stays in the same location, and the camcorder is angled upward or downward. To the viewer, it's as if they are looking upward and downward at a person standing up. There is 3 additional movements, but we are just going to show you steady. This has no movement at all and is just a normal shot.